I need some milk.
He needs some milk. Nah, that's nasty, man. Milk by itself?
Yeah. I need some cookies on the side.
Or chocolate. Yeah, I can't do milk plain, man.
Yeah, it has to be with cereal.
That too.
Or chocolate milk.
Yeah, because I'm gonna feel it all in my throat. Yeah. Then I start blasting. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't recall when was the last time I had milk. Cause I've been on the almond milk gang.
For a while now. Yeah, ever since we're getting older, so we gotta change that. And speaking of getting older, we celebrated your birthday in a big way. So what did we do? Tell the people.
Yeah, man. Well, it's already been a week. Last Saturday, April 17th, my mom, she gave birth 28 years ago to a god,
A god.
Me.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm God's child. But yeah, nah, man, I just turned 28. I know we were talking about doing something, so we talked about it, we planned it, and we succeeded. We went to Philadelphia, downtown Philly, where the Eagles play, Because I've never been. The only city I've really been to, it was Boston, New York, So Philly's a little bit past New York, and I know you went to it a couple of years ago. So when you came back with the gifts for me, and you talked highly about it, you was just like, yo, Philly, I loved it more than New York. And I was shocked when you said that.
Yeah, because I feel like New York was our very first trip, like, outside of Rhode Island, besides, like, Connecticut, Mass, because, those are our neighbors.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, New York was like the training wheels. Right?
Yeah.
So once I finally got a decent car where I was able to travel a little bit longer distance, I figured, why not go somewhere a bit further?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to Philly, because I remember in high school for lunch, one of my favorite meals was a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cheesesteaks were really good at school, and I don't know why, but I guess they discontinued them for some odd reason.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I
So-
don't recall. I don't miss school lunch being timed. I feel like that's one of the reasons why we eat so fast now, is just because we were conditioned and programmed in school years to eat 18 minutes, that's it. Go back to class, like, damn, 18 minutes to eat? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really remember the flavor of the cheesesteak sandwich. in high
Just me,
school.
I was always big on the cheese.
Yeah.
Just it being so tasty. So I wanted to go to Philly, not only for the cheesesteaks, but
To explore.
a different state. And this was like around my birthday. I was on vacation,
Okay.
so I had multiple things planned out how I wanted to do things.
Yeah.
For my birthday, we went to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We went to Golden Corral out there, which was a mistake. And then the next week, I decided to take the drive there. Not only for the cheesesteaks, but I'm a big Rocky fan.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I wanted to go to the steps where he ran up. I wanted to see the statue, and that meant everything to me.
Yeah.
Being able to see that in person,
Yeah.
and seeing it in the movies, I was like, wow, that's really, really dope. So being able to experience that, it meant everything.
Yeah, because in the movies, it's throughout the whole Philly. You know what I mean? They did a good job on showing his upbringing. His struggle, his lows, and then his highs. And I remember us just walking through the streets. You're like, yeah, remember they filmed here, they filmed here. I was just like, oh shit, for real? Because I really never been a Rocky fan. I like the movies, I'll watch them here and there, but I don't think I've ever watched part one from start to finish all the way through.
Mhm.
I think I've only watched it whenever it's on TV, or if my brother Chino's watching it, I'll just watch like bits and pieces of it. So I wasn't a huge Rocky fan, but I knew the iconic iconic scenes of him running through the streets, running up those stairs before the fight, training. So that was a nice thing to see in person, and it's right in the middle of Philadelphia, of downtown Philly. So just being able to go there and run up those stairs and feel like the movies, because I remember leading up to it, like, yo, we gotta run up the stairs. We're like, what?
Yeah, you guys were like, wait, what? There's so many. I'm like, nah, this is tradition. This is how we did it. So being able to run up those steps was incredible. I was a little worried that I was gonna trip. Yeah. I remember the first time doing it with Chris. I had my phone and I was recording. He had his phone out and he was holding on to the camera holder.
Oh, yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
And
like a GoPro thing.
Yeah. So being able to do that, like the first time, I was a bit nervous. So the second time around, I'm like, alright, I got this.
Was there any difference of the two trips?
Oh yeah, the big difference was this was before COVID.
Oh,
so
true.
Before COVID, everyone's out and about. This was
and summertime too.
It was late summer. It was brutally hot.
Yeah.
We were using the hop on, hop off tour bus.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So we were able to get dropped off like right at the steps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad because they bring you to a lot of stops. Because I did that tour in New York.
In New York, yeah, I remember you guys doing that.
Yeah, so it's pretty convenient having someone bring you to each landmark. All you gotta do is enjoy it. You don't gotta find the parking, look for what place to go next.
And if you find a specific spot that you really want to see, you could just hop off.
Yeah.
Explore that and then wait for the bus to come back, hop back on, and go to the next one.
Yeah.
Or you could stay on the bus and there's a tour guide.
Yeah.
And he's explaining all the historic pieces around. And it was really cool.
Philly is like a big part of our history because it was one of the first 13 states, I believe. That's where they signed the independence.
The Declaration of Independence.
The Liberty Bell is there as well. So that whole state is full of history. So just being in a new state and seeing the layouts, it is similar to New York, but just the atmosphere, you could just feel it. It's a little bit more calmer. People are a lot nicer.
They're passionate.
Yeah,
and they're very most of them are well mannered. Like I was really impressed when they were holding doors for us and actually saying thank you, have a nice day.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's refreshing being able to get that feedback from people because you're not used to that from where we are.
Yeah. Nah, definitely for sure. And I don't know if I didn't notice them, but I didn't really see much panhandlers. I know one memory I have from our trip, us going up, like running up the stairs, and they had the footprints of where Rocky stood.
And I don't recall seeing that the first time I was there. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Or you think it was just too crowded, maybe?
It was crowded, but like I was just like so like.
Memorized.
I was just in the moment, looking ahead of like the whole city. I wasn't looking down. I was looking up the whole time. I didn't even think of looking down, and I honestly don't recall seeing the steps. And at the time, I don't think there were those guys like, oh hey, where you from? Let me take a picture.
Yeah.
There wasn't many people doing that.
No, that's what I was gonna get to. Like, their homeless people are actually hustling. They're actually nice. They offer to take a picture of us. Since that's the one thing that sucks is going on trips. Like if you're going with a group, there's always that one person that has to take the picture, so they're gonna be out the picture.
Yeah, exactly.
So us running up the steps and then being very welcoming. Oh, look at the footprints. This is where he stood in the movie. We're like, oh shit, and then they're like, oh, you want us to take a picture? We're like, yeah, so polite and nice. And then he asked, he's like, oh, I'm homeless. I know I don't look like it, but I keep myself, well put together. But if you could give me a couple bucks, you don't have to, but I would appreciate if you do. So just being that nice, Not like, oh, can I get $1? You give them a sandwich. I said $1, bitch.
Man.
So just that, like, that was a good impression. First impression, Because when you think of homeless people, you just think of like the junkies and stuff like that. But nah, I was very impressed with the whole layouts and how downtown they got the steps right there, and then right next to the steps, the statue, Rocky statue. A whole line of people just trying to take pictures of him.
Yeah, and like to be honest, like I was always surprised like how so many people are just lined up waiting to take a picture. Like I know Rocky's and he's a fictional character too.
Yeah.
And just him being that iconic fictional character, like so many people wanted to. I wouldn't think people would want to because I didn't think so many people would watch the movie.
Yeah.
And like pay attention to it.
But why do you? If there wasn't that many people paying attention to it, they would never make Creed. The only reason why they made Creed is because Rocky has such a big following.
Yeah.
It was such an impactful and motivational movie to not just that city, but to the whole world. Maybe not the whole world, but I'm sure in Europe they felt it too. So it's a big tourist attraction.
It is.
And I am surprised too that he has a statue, a fictional character has a statue next to like other historic statues that are over there, you know. Because they had like a big statue that was surrounded by like frogs, and I don't know that first middle statue we saw before the steps.
Yeah.
Like that was very historic, you know, looked like soldiers or something. And then another building had cowboys and Indians on top of the building. Like that was so beautiful to see. Like how the hell did they build this back then without cranes? Because I don't think they had cranes at that time, you know. So all that blood, sweat, and tears that people had to sacrifice, I'm sure against their will, but you know they got it done. It's just crazy to think about that. Like the feeling of it. This is outside in the wind, rain, snow, and it still looks like it's from the first time they built it, you know. So that material, that just makes you think like, damn, why don't we still use this material?
Exactly. Yeah, it really sticks out. It's really gorgeous. All the buildings and the statues, you know. Not a lot of people like going up to boo. It's like Philly. I really love Philly. It's the city of brotherly love, and I still think, like, for me personally, like, Philly
over New York. Yeah.
The fan base is trash. Philly.
I mean, I think that's everywhere though. Fans are always gonna be dedicated, whether it's a good thing or a bad
for
thing.
For sure. But like Philly, they just don't know how to act. I feel like.
Are you going off the when they won though, and then they destroyed
the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No. I just feel like.
In general,
because like I remember watching a clip on Twitter when it was the NBA All-Star game. It was 2002, I believe. Yeah, it was Kobe Bryant, so he's from Philly.
Yeah, true. Yep.
And the year prior, they had won the finals against Philly, and the All-Star game. You know, everyone comes together. It's all mutual. It's all love, respect.
Yeah.
And the crowd's booing them. Like, how you gonna boo your own guy? And I think it was who is it? Craig Sager, the guy that just passed. Yeah. He interviewed him when he was on the bench, and he asked him about, how do you feel about them booing you? And he was hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like Kobe, Black Mamba mentality. You know, he doesn't let things get to him, but like that's his hometown. That's his home city.
Yeah, and so, he represents.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw him with the Eagles guy, I was like, oh shit, he's an Eagles fan too.
Yeah.
Like he's not scared to represent.
So when they interviewed him and he spoke his truth. He's like, yeah, it does hurt a little bit, you know, because like this is my hometown, you know, so like I'm really surprised by it. And he won the MVP of that All-Star game, and they got mixed reactions. Some people cheer, some people still boo. It's like, come on, man. And Al Horford, he ended up signing with Philly.
Yeah.
Eventually they traded him so they could dump that big ass contract for an old dude. And I see it on Twitter, like, they're just straight up bashing him. Like, yo, he sucks. Basura, get him out of here. It's like, bro, like, I know most fan bases, they might feel some type of way about certain players and how they move and stuff, but I really do feel like Philly fans, they just need to get the act together just a little bit, because they have some of, like, the greatest players, but they just don't know how to treat them right.
Yeah, I mean, you did say they're passionate, And when you're passionate, that you can't just take the good with that passion.
But you gotta compare like Philly fans to Boston fans. Like Boston fans, they're
racist. What do you mean?
No, that's true. Nah, some of nah.
What do you mean, bro? Every sports fan, you're gonna have the good and the bad.
Yeah, you gotta have the
good
and the bad.
Yankees, all of them are bad too.
Nah, why you gotta just point out the Yankees like that? Nah, but like me personally, from like personal experience and like seeing it online, like Philly fans.
Personal experience. What game you go to?
I went to what's that
your dad
game?
took you when you were 6.
Actually, he was supposed to, but he never came by, so
okay.
I had to watch it on the TV.
Okay.
So, nah, but one day you'll understand. Like when you go to Philly to watch the fucking whoever they are, the Eagles.
I just think. I just think. I don't know. I guess I never looked at it that way, but I'm not searching for it either. But I just think in a bigger city, since we're coming from a small state, in a bigger city, there's gonna be a lot of different personalities. You know, we're gonna see a lot of different things than we do over here. So I just feel like that's what it is really. What it comes down to is the size of the state and how many people live in that state. You know, and
remember, it's not about the size of the boat; it's the motion of the ocean. No, but like. I know I'm not the only one that says it about Philly, because when I'm reading like the comments and stuff, a lot of people say like the Philly fan base is like the worst in the country.
I mean, the only thing I can agree with is after winning the Super Bowl, they trashed their own city. I'm like, are you serious? Why are you doing that? And then someone ate his shit or something.
Yo, they don't know how to act. They never won, so they're like, we can do this now? Like, what?
We've been shit all our life. Let me eat it now.
And it's funny, when we went to the pro shop right outside the stadium, the trash receptacles. It's like, what did it say? Like, trash please, and it showed the Eagles logo. We were like, yo.
Yeah, nah, that pro shop was badass, bro. And the fact that they have all the stadiums right next to each other.
Yeah, I really like that the most about Philly. How all the home teams are right there in the center, all connected.
Hell yeah, one big ass parking lot, so you just can stand right in the middle of all of them. Like that was really dope to see. Cause I think the only stadium I've seen in person, like football stadium, probably is Gillette. And that stadium's not that big, you know? So when you go to a big ass state like that and you see theirs, it's like, oh shit, this shit's huge.
Big difference from what we're used to seeing, you know?
Imagine sitting in the side of it. Like, how do people even see the players? Because I know the only games I've been to is basketball, and I sat at the nosebleed seats.
Yeah.
And the players look small, so I can only imagine in a football arena, you know? But yeah, nah, like, the whole Philly trip, even when we went to that fountain, we were taking pictures of the fountain, and then that homeless guy was just like, why are you guys taking pictures? It's just water. Like, even that interaction, like, that wasn't even bad. Like, I had fun with him, too. I was just like, yo, it's history right there. Like, think about it, how they built this back then. This and that. He's like, like,
see, because like you know how to deal with those types of people. You don't let those type of people phase you and like fuck up your day. Like, you have fun with it. Like, whatever you say. You know what? I'm gonna give you a sandwich and $1. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because he's homeless. You don't know what he's going through.
Yeah.
You know, no one like. People don't treat homeless people like people, and that's what they really want, is to be treated like people. So I was just going back and forth with him just to have fun. But even that interaction, like, that didn't faze me. Like, that was a good impression still too on Philadelphia. Like, it was just the whole experience. You know what I mean? You got to get the whole experience.
Yeah.
We can't just go for the goods. You know what I mean? And we also, since it's the state of Philly cheesesteaks, you know, like, this is where it came from, I think. Or did just give them the name?
I feel like this is where it originated, you know, because like Philly cheesesteak, like where else is Philly? You know, so like that was like the main thing, like we have to get a Philly cheesesteak because like for New York it's their pizza.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like Philly, what do they have? The cheesesteak. So being able to go there and how there's 2 different cheesesteak spots, like literally within walking distance.
That's what was on my mind, because I remember us talking about going to Philly, like, what should we do, and I was like, wanting to keep it simple. Like, I don't have to go all out, as long as I go to Philly, like that's the best thing I can ask for. And then, I mean, we try to plan it out. We got there at a good time, right in the morning, 9 o'clock. So we were hungry after driving 4.5 hours.
It didn't even feel like it. I feel it flew by.
Yeah,
it was all good vibes, man. It was great.
Nah, dead ass. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the new routes they have, new bridges, but I feel like it's so quicker to get to Philly now. Cause before New York used to feel like a 4 hour trip, but now we went to New York in like 2.5, almost like 3 hours. You know what I mean? And then we got to Philly, only 4.5 hours. So it wasn't bad at all, the drive. But we were definitely hungry. We found this spot, a nice diner. The food was amazing. The waitress, she was nice and pleasant. And then it's just funny, people looking at us. They could tell we're out of town.
Well, luckily my back was faced towards them, so I didn't see their reaction. I was just looking at the homies like, okay, let's eat. Finally.
Yeah, I had my Philly my shirt on that you gave me as a gift. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
I was able to represent,
From head to toe, really.
Yeah, I had the hat on too. So that's how we were tourists. So we ate breakfast, and right after that we went to the stadiums, got some more gear. Another present you and the fellas gave me, a nice Letterman jacket, which is beautiful. And then from there we went to the steps. We found a decent parking right up front. Like that whole day, like honestly, that's why I was just like, we didn't really think too much of it. Like we're gonna have a good ass time, all the fellas together.
Just go with the flow, because like when you start planning stuff out and it doesn't go
the way you're playing,
plans,
it affects you. You know what I mean? So you're just like, fuck, but nah, just you can't control what happens to you. You can only control how you react to things. So, and that's how I was looking at the whole trip. I know we wanted to eat Philly cheesesteaks. I remember seeing an episode of Man vs. Food. They went to Geno's and Pat's. They compared the two. So
I gotta watch that.
Definitely. We gotta watch it again. And so that's something I wanted to do, was compare the two. And then I remember when we got there, you was telling me about Max. Like I never heard of Max before. I just knew the two iconic ones that were right across the street from each other.
Honestly, like I didn't even really know about Pat's and Geno's.
Okay.
All I really knew about was Max, because I mean, I watched the Rocky movies, and I'm gonna have to rewatch them again, 'cause I watched them so many times, but for some reason I don't recall seeing those steak and cheese spots.
Oh yeah.
In Creed, I specifically remember him walking into Max's with his girl, because that was like their first time going out to eat.
Okay.
She took him to Max's, and then in the second one, when he's champ, he goes inside and everyone greets him like, "Yo, you're the champ. What's good?" Like, that was the only spot that I knew. So when I think it was Chino that brought it up, it's like, Pass and G. He confused the three, thinking that Max's was the one like across the street from like Pat's, or like Max was across the street from Gino. So when we got there, he was like, "Whoa, it's Max." It's like, no, Max is like 15 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Gino's and Pat's are the ones across the street from one another.
Yeah, I didn't know the names either. I just knew that they were across the street from each other. So when we looked it up, Pat's and Geno's was closest to us. And we were hungry, so we're just like, alright, let's go to this spot right here, since it has two places. Let's compare and contrast. Let's do it. Here.
We went to Geno's first.
Yes, I originally said let's go to Pat's, but when we got there, it said cash only, and luckily they did have an ATM right across the street, so we go to the ATM. ATM's right next to Geno's, so that that led us to Geno's. And the first thing I noticed was there's lines. I was like, oh shit, there's lines at both places, not just one, both.
I was tight, because I'm like, I gotta eat something.
Yes, and I was just like, damn, how long is this wait? And I see there's like 2 or 3 other restaurants next to them, and nobody's at them. I'm like, oh shit.
Where do you see that? Like, it's crazy.
Excuse me, but that was hilarious. So since we went to the ATM to grab cash, we go to Geno's first. We're looking at the pictures. They got a bunch of pictures with different celebrities or people we don't even know all over the roof. Like that was very appealing. The presentation of you're not just standing in a line. You're standing in a line of where all these other people came to.
All the nostalgia behind it.
Yeah. No, that was a dope ass experience right there. Because it made the line go by faster, because you're looking at the pictures and people are just moving. And they had like 2 separate windows. One was for the sandwiches, one was for the fries. And right when we got up to the sandwich spot, like, what do you want? Da-da-da-da. Boom, sandwich right there. I was like, oh shit.
They don't play. Because they know that you came there for one reason and one reason only, and it's a fucking cheesesteak.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and then...
Without.
Yeah.
Without.
Yeah. You better know. Like the sign says, you better know what you want. If not, go back in the back of the line and figure it out. And then Gino's, I guess they call it hoagies over there.
Yeah, hoagies is the sandwich with the extra toppings.
The lettuce, the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went with that one at Gino's because I was like, let me say hoagie. Yeah, can I get a hoagie? It was fun saying that. And then we got the fries with cheese on it, which they use Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz is like the staple.
Yeah,
for
right.
Philly cheesesteaks.
I don't really hear about that over here, like being mentioned.
It's a Philly thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it was really good. That's a good topping for the fries and the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So right when I saw the sandwich, I'm like, yes, we're about to eat it. We found a spot to sit down, take that first bite. Like, yo, I'm disappointed.
Really? Like first bite?
Yeah, bro. Like that's what I said. Right when I took the bite, I was just like, this ain't it. Like our cheesesteak over here from House of Pizza in Pawtucket over here is better than that shit. And it was now that I compared and contrast Pat's and Gino's, it was definitely the meat. The meat was good. I'm not gonna say I wasn't satisfied, but I wasn't expecting that type of meat.
You was very like underwhelmed about it because like all the hype. Oh, it's Philly. It's a cheesesteak. Like this has to be A1.
Yeah, they should know how to make a Philly cheesesteak. You know what I mean? But it's just some people are different. I guess some people like that type of meat. And it's just that meat that's a little bit more juicier. It's not really cooked all the way.
It was really tasty. Like, I only grabbed the sandwich from that spot, from Gino's. I didn't grab fries. I didn't grab juice or anything. I just grabbed the sandwich because that's all I wanted.
You didn't get a hoagie, right?
No. I just, from both places, just cheesesteak, cheese whiz, onions.
Yeah.
Just kept it simple. Because I just wanted to focus on that and see how it was.
Yeah, it was definitely the meat that I didn't like, though. I'm not saying it was a bad sandwich. But the meat that I expect on a Philly cheesesteak meat, it wasn't that, you know what I mean?
Like chopped up, like spread it out a lot. Like this was like skinny layers. Right?
Yeah, and it was it was juicy, you know what I mean? It had a lot of juice on it. I'm used to like that thick cooked steak, you know, chopped up full sandwich. So when I ate it, I was kind of nervous. I was just like, damn, I don't want to get full off this, and this is my experience. So when you told me that you was still gonna get past, I was like, "Fuck it, I gotta get past." Too.
Yeah, that was the whole point. That's why I only grabbed the sandwich because I needed to go across the street. Because like we only go to these places like once in a blue moon, so it's like I want to take advantage. Like this was the whole thing. If we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that. So when the guys was like, "Nah, I'm full," it's like, "Fuck it." I'm gonna go grab this right now. You wanna come with me? I bet. Luckily for Pat's, the line wasn't that long. Like we was in there for like 10 minutes tops.
Quick.
So from there, because I knew we had to go home right away because it was gonna be a long drive. I grabbed the sandwich. I grabbed the fries, which were crispier and bigger than the ones that we had at Gino's. And I grabbed juice. And opening up the wrapper and seeing how the steak and cheese was, I'm like, this is it right here. Like the bread was a bit chewy. Than Gino's, but it was more stuffed. It was more satisfying than the Gino's. I'm like, yo, I should have gotten another one. This was
we
great.
should have went here originally first, man. But I was so glad that we went there. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna go with you. Either I'm gonna take it home with me or eat a little bit and just eat the rest later. But I definitely gotta grab Pat's. I gotta compare and contrast. You know,
I had to eat it.
Yeah,
I had to eat it right away.
So when I opened up the package, I was like, yes. This is what I came here for. You know? And the cheese whiz, because they gave you the options to either choose American or provolone. So since I was disappointed with Gino's, in my head, I'm like, damn, do I want to go with cheese whiz, I guess? Should I go with provolone? Maybe I'll change it. So I was like, nah, I got to go with cheese whiz. This is a staple. This is only known in Philly. So I got to go with cheese whiz. I was like, all right, give me the cheese whiz. I didn't get no lettuce, no tomatoes.
Because you would have been disappointed if you didn't.
Yeah, for real. Now, that's the full experience. You got to get the cheese
whiz. Because if you got provolone, it's like, you could have gotten it here. It's like, you might as well just get Subway over there. You need the cheese whiz, because that's the staple, that's the tradition.
Yes, so that shit worked out, bro. That shit hit the spot. I ate majority of the sandwich. I left like a small piece. So when I got home, I ate that small piece, and it was so good. I was like, damn, I still got another one for the go for tomorrow. Oh shit! But yeah, I'm glad we got to do that because that was the full experience. The cheesesteak, the stadiums, walking downtown, the homeless people, like it was everything that I was expecting and more. You know.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
that
glad to hear.
that exceeded my expectations for sure.
So can you say Philly's better than New York?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like every state has a unique ways of how they operate. Cause I do like Manhattan. I don't like it on an everyday basis, but it is a nice scenery with all the things on the buildings. Like that's crazy how they did that too. And they got the iconic steps in downtown Manhattan where you could sit on them. A bunch of people sit there, just right in the middle, take videos. All the stores, they got the big Hershey store over there too. So better, I don't know. I don't know if it's better, but they're both fucking good ass experiences to go just for like a day trip. You know? I don't think I could live. Maybe if I able to choose, I'll choose Philly over New York because I wouldn't want to live in New York.
Yeah, because New York is very fast paced. It's a city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
Philly,
just to drive into, like it's just
there's
crazy.
no point in having a car in New York.
Yeah,
there really
bro.
isn't. Like taxi. That's it. Philly, like you can have a car, you can walk, you can ride your bike. You gotta be careful, obviously, because like it can be a little crazy.
Yeah.
But Philly is just more. It's more relaxing.
Yeah,
it's laid back. It's calm. It's not jam packed, crazy, blowing horns. Get out the way. Traffic.
Yeah, and
that's what I liked.
And the weather was perfect that day to walk around in. It was a nice
Very
cloudy
perfect.
day.
That's
not too hot.
Yeah, that's what we wanted.
Yeah, for real. So like I'm grateful. I'm very grateful and humble. Like we spoke it into existence, we manifested it, and we got it done. And now we're already a week from it. Like it's just crazy. Now we can reflect and have those memories. Me with the guys on my birthday, just walking through Philly, taking pictures at the stadium of the team I love, buying the gear. Now I got memories attached to the clothing, so now every time I wear it, I remember.
Exactly.
So that's what's about traveling, like just getting out of your comfort zone of where you were raised and just seeing the world you came from,
But wait, there's more! Because 48 hours later, it was another trip.
Yeah, since I did the trip with the guys on my birthday, my significant other, she wanted to plan a trip for me.
Oh, so sweet.
And she knows I'm a stoner, and that's why I was born 3 days before 420. So
dude, that's crazy. Imagine if you was born that day. You ever talk to your mom like, yo, you couldn't just wait like 3 more days?
Nah, bro, because I had to hit the blunt with her. So she pushed me out, and we were both smoking. But yeah, so since 420 is only 3 days after, my significant other, she planned out a trip to Colorado, which they're known as the Amsterdam of USA, because they've been legalized now for, I'm going to say like a decade. It's been a while for them to be legalized.
That's crazy. I thought it was recent.
Nah, because I remember in high school hearing about, maybe a little bit right after high school, but yeah, almost a decade ago, they were talking about how people were moving to Colorado because like people with kids that had autism or like just birth defects, and the CBD was so beneficial for their kids. It helped them so much, like kids that had seizures. It actually helped them to stop the seizures. So people were moving from all different states to Colorado because it was the only state that was legalized CBD. And now everywhere is, I think, legalized CBD, because even here in Rhode Island we got stores now, that CBD stores. So it has to be almost, if it's not 10 years, it's like 8 or 9 around there. So they're the capital of USA for cannabis. I don't think California is the capital. I know they were legalized for a little bit too, just as long as Colorado. But yeah, so she planned that trip out. we got there Monday. So Saturday we were in Philly, and then Monday I was in Colorado, and they're 2 hours backwards. So we ended up gaining 2 hours of that day. So I didn't really feel the jet lag at all either as well. It was really like entertaining and the adrenaline's rushing. So you're just excited to be somewhere. And it was just a beautiful city too, because we got to experience the two sides of weather-wise. We got to experience the snow side, which that's what they're known for, is the cold weather. The Rocky Mountains are full of snow, you know. So we got to experience that day, which it was beautiful. It wasn't too gruesome out. It wasn't coming down too heavy. So we were able to still walk around downtown, seeing the snowflakes fall on top of the buildings. Like, Colorado's another beautiful city too. And I recommend us going there too, even if we're not, like, I know you're not a stoner, but just to see like their layout as well. It's just like Philly, a little bit more calmer though, a little bit more flatter, because their land out there is the Midwest. No ocean around you, nothing like that, no water, just some lakes here and there.
Yeah.
So just flat lands. Their countryside is real country, mad farms and mountains. And then their city is like Denver City. That city is beautiful too. You got Denver Broncos Stadium. You got the Rockies Arena in the middle of the city, like right in the heart of the city. You're walking between little alleys that have all these paintings on the walls, lights on strings. Like it's really beautiful over there, man. Like I was really impressed. So to be able to go to Philly with the guys, and then to go to Colorado with my significant other on a holiday that I've always celebrated for the last 10 years, you know. it was 28 is starting off so great, and I want to continue this momentum, you know. I want to continue to enjoy life.
Facts.
And I want to continue to travel, you know. Like this is where we come from, this world. Like this is a privilege, you know what I mean? Like we can't take this for granted at all.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, I posted up pictures of the good times I had. You know, I said in the caption, I was like, I've never been materialistic. I always valued the simple things, and since I'm not really that materialistic, I'm not spending money on stupid stuff. You know, I'm not valuing the wrong things, so I'm able to save, and that money I'm saving, I'm gonna go on trips, bro. You know what I mean? I just want to keep traveling. You know what I mean? Even if it's for a weekend. 2 days, because I was in Colorado for 2 days. Philly was only a day, you know, and
that was very satisfying.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like nah. Like let's use our time wisely. We can't get back yesterday. Let's keep living the life we want to live.
So, not since you mentioned that, I've been thinking a lot how I want to take those weeks.
Yeah.
In August, since I plan on going to Florida.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I think I would like to go back to Philly.
Yeah.
And I wanna actually go to New York again too.
Yeah.
I wanna be able to do something where we go to Philly, right? We spend like the whole day there, and we can get like a motel or something. Wake up the next day and we go to New York, spend the day there, and then we can head back. That's how me and Chris did it.
Yeah, I remember.
Cause I know there's a spot in Philly. Homegirl was telling me about years ago when I told them I was heading there. Like there's a street that's like similar to Thayer.
In Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
I believe so. It's a lot longer. There's more shops and stuff, things that you can do that I want to be able to hit. I definitely have to try Max's cheesesteaks, because that's another staple in Philly. And I want to see how the nightlife is there too.
Oh yeah, true.
I want to see that. And then New York. I've always loved New York, so like I want to be able to go back there and travel a little bit. I really want to see Rucker Park.
Oh, the basketball court.
Yeah, because that's a very historic ball court.
Yeah.
I always wanted to pass by that. Of course, we could go to the Red Steps, Times Square, and all that. And of course, you know, when we're actually there, you know, we can just all just gather around and just discuss right there and then what we want to do, and take it from there. But like
I mean, definitely for sure. I know your birthday's in August, so you always like to plan around your birthday. But yeah, definitely just plan from now until then, so that way everything's already just set in stone, and all you gotta do is just implement yourself, and that's it.
Get everyone, and then have a van this time.
Yeah. I mean, since we're all gonna be vaccinated soon, I'm sure everyone should be down to do that.
It'll be easier, be more safe.
Because this time we didn't get to go with everybody, so that was like I just wanted to go. I didn't really care who went, as long as we went. I mean, that was the most important part. But yeah, it's always nice to go with everybody. I mean, all your friends that you grew up with, just to get out of your house, especially this past year, how crazy it's been. I mean, just locked in your house.
Long overdue.
Yeah. So, definitely that's something. Like, I want to travel, so as long as we plan accordingly and get it done and it's possible, like, I'm with it. But it's your birthday, so do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Make it happen.
Honestly, for like that day, I just want to kick it here, have like a cookout or something.
Yeah.
Because like last year, it was kind of robbed. I didn't even see any of you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of you guys, because like the next day I took off, like in the morning.
Yeah, in Florida.
Yeah. So I want to be able to kick back, have a cookout, good vibes, good drinks, and all that, and be surrounded by my loved ones.
Yeah, that's the most important part. Like, I really don't care what I do as long as I'm having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm cherishing the moment. Living in the moment. Because when you start thinking about, it didn't go this way, it didn't go that way, then you're just ruining the time.
Like. Yeah, you're robbing the moment.
Yeah. So, not for sure. Planning more trips, more traveling, whether it's in distance of driving or flying a quick 1 hour or 2 hours somewhere. Like, that's the wave right now. It's just to travel. Make sure you're doing it accordingly, taking the right precautions. You're fully vaccinated. I'm about to be fully vaccinated. So, this time of life we're living in, you gotta be realistic and cautious and take the right precautions. But live. You only get one life. Only one. So, definitely gotta live. And I wanna do a lot of that. 2 birds, 1 kite.
Yes.
Only one. But yeah, that's my goal, honestly. That's on my bucket list, just to maybe touch every state in the U.S. Because we're United States, right? We're all united. We're not united.
United.
That's another thing I do enjoy too, is hearing the different accents, seeing the different cultures. So
here you go, boy.
Yeah, the southern accent dragging out the words.
Where you from?
Oh yeah.
What up, boy?
Cause I was wearing the Letterman to Colorado.
Yeah.
So right when we were checking into the hotel, one of the hostess was like, "Oh, are you from Philly?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Rhode Island, but still the East Coast." She's like, "Oh wow, yeah, we haven't had East Coasters here in a long time. Glad to see you guys."
Yeah, that's so cool. See, I love that interaction, man. Yeah. I really love that shit, man.
Yeah. So definitely, bro. Like, it's very fulfilling, very satisfying, a different type of satisfaction.
I can't wait.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we only have one life to live, so continue to value the right things, continue to cherish the loved ones around you. Live for now, don't live for tomorrow, and you can't get back yesterday, so just enjoy today.
Live in the moment.
Yes.
But yeah, y'all know what to do. Support the boys, Reminiscent Boys.
Yes, YouTube channel, IG page.
Yes, sir.
401 Bucket Dreams. You already know the deal. We'll be here with or without you, but we'd rather with you.
Thank you all.
Yes.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Deuces.